Hey everybody, it's Angela, and I am back with my third design team project for scrapbookingwithme.com. And I'm going to use this 12 by 12 Sense of Nature paper from 49 and Market. And as you can see there, it already has a large image pre-printed on the background paper. And sometimes I'm a little intimidated by that, so I wanted to jump in and try to use this and get a little more comfortable with some of these pre-printed designs. And the photo I wanted to use was horizontal, and the frame that was pre-printed on the paper was vertical. And so in order to soften that, I just took a doily and put that in the background. I like to do that with a lot of mixed media and shabby chic type of layouts. Anyways, using a doily just gives that extra feminine touch. And so it also, took your eye away from the fact that that frame was vertical on there. And then I'm also taking these 49 and Market paper flowers, and they're in kind of an off-white, but they also kind of lean to the light creamy yellow. And so since there were some yellow flowers pre-printed on the paper, I decided to kind of go with that as my accent color. I don't use bright yellow as an accent color very often, so this was really fun for me. And I like the touches of pink that were already on there, and then kind of that light green, and then kind of the cream off-white vintagey look to the paper flowers. And so here you can see I've just taken a bunch of die cuts that I had die cut myself, and they were left over from the two previous projects I've done. And I'm just going to use a bunch of those along with the 49 and Market flowers to make clusters around my photo. And before I glue things down, I want to take a look at my title. I found these gold Dear Lucy puffy stickers, and I'm thinking to do the title Sisters on there. And I go with that for a while, but it just doesn't work. The font's a little bit too thin, and yeah, I just didn't like how busy the title looks. So you'll see what I do here in a second to get around that. So I'm thinking that I want to put it there, and I like aesthetically how that looks, but it just, was too busy down there. And then I wanted to use this chipboard piece, Memories, and this is what my title actually winds up being. It's just this little Memories chipboard piece. And it's a little easier to see because it's, got the gold background, and so it's a little less cluttered looking on the layout. But since I wasn't sure about the title, I go on and I think, I'm going to start gluing down some of these other items. I have this little vine piece that I had die cut out of the 49 and Market paper. And also some of those other flowers are ones that I die cut on my Big Shot. I lifted my photo up on a little bit of fun foam here, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down since I like the placement of that. There's one of the flowers that I die cut myself. I just used a bunch of flower dies out of my die cut stash. And again, I'm thinking about this title, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to put it over here. So I go ahead and put it down. It's not super sticky, so I know I'm going to have to probably glue it down here in a little bit, but I go ahead and place it where I think I want it to go. And I love this font, and I love the puffy sticker alphas and stuff, but it just didn't work for me on this one. You can see it, you just don't really see it. And so again, I'm not sure, so I go back to gluing down some of my other things. So I'm taking these 49 and Market flowers, putting a few more of those down, a few more of these little vines that I had already had cut, so I wanted to make sure to get those down in the background. And I like that you can still see the clocks that are pre-printed on the paper. I actually finally get everything positioned so you can still see the little bird and the nest over there kind of on the right hand side of that right hand clock, and you still see the pink fuchsias popping out, so you still see quite a bit of that background design even though I'm layering a lot of stuff on top. And sometimes I kind of look at it that the pre-printed image on there is just a layering piece. It's just the foundation on which to build the rest of your layers. So even though I'm covering a lot of it up, it's also like when you do mixed media and do the packaging technique backgrounds or things like that. even though you know you're going to cover a lot of it up, it still lends a lot to the layout and pieces of it still peek out. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it in my own mind. And so here I am, I'm still thinking about that title, and I think I'll make a banner or I'll cut something to go behind it so you can read it better. And I think, no, I don't really want a banner over there, so maybe I'll move my title down below the pre-printed frame. And I think, okay, I'm just going to put this back on the wax paper and think about it some more. And then I finally just decide to skip putting the title down there. Since, it's just the word sisters, and I'm going to handwrite their names on the layout. So that's my mom and her older sister. And what was nice is because, it was a black and white photo taken back in the day, and you can see them sitting in the grass. It's the summertime. They've got summer dresses on. So I know it must have been probably hot, and there were probably flowers blooming. And so I think the yellow color and all these flowers really lends to the feel of what the photograph is if it were in color. That's kind of what it reminds me of, just kind of the heat and the sun and that it's summer. So I really liked using the yellow color on there. So there I go. I decide to put memories there. And then I pull out these little recollections flowers just to kind of infill around my other paper flowers. I go ahead, I put that flower down, and I kind of put it a little bit too close, and I have to peel it up here in a little bit, but it comes up just fine. So yeah, I'm just using these extra yellow flowers just to fill in a few more gaps that I have, bring in a little bit more of the actual yellow color into the layout. So I'm just kind of seeing where that would look good. I want to intersperse it with the 49 and Market flowers that have the micro glitter on them. I want that micro glitter to be kind of spread around throughout the whole cluster. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing this page and using these colors and using this paper that had the pre-printed design, because I know sometimes I just don't know what to do with them, and I think I've kind of got a formula sort of worked out. This really made me kind of think through using this paper. So the 49 and Market, they have a bunch of different collections and different color themes. So this is the Sense of Nature collection, but they have other ones as well. You can get them all at the scrapbookingwithme.com store, and also the butterfly die that I use on there is the Holtz mini butterflies, and they sell that die in their shop as well. And I'll put links to all the things I used down below, and you can go check out the store. And if you use the code AB10 when you check out, you'll get a 10% discount off of your purchase. And then I'll put links down. They have a Facebook boutique and a members room, blog, and all that kind of good stuff. And so I'll put links to all of that down below as well. So here I am just putting some finishing touches, a few more paper flowers on there. And I really love how this cluster came together. So now, since I didn't put a large title on there, I wanted to put a little bit more wording on this layout. So I have these Maggie Holmes little phrase stickers, and I like that it has kind of the antique white color, so it really matches in well with this collection. So I'm just going to sprinkle a few of those. One of them says collect moments and memories. Another one says documented, and the other is seriously adorable. So I thought that really worked well. And they weren't super sticky. I've had them for a while, so probably the adhesive is getting old. And so I just used my fine line bottle with some Scotch tacky glue in there just to glue those down and make sure they stay. And that just lends a little bit of text around there and a little bit of extra texture. I like that the font is like a typewriter font which would be, perfect for the era that this photograph was taken. And then I have some liquid pearls in the blush color that I got from Scrapbooking with Me as well. And I just put 3 dots in some of the butterfly bodies, and then a few dots in some of the flower centers. And I just love that for flower centers. Instead of using the flat back pearls, you get a lot of little flat back pearls in a bottle, essentially. And then I'm just taking a little bit of Heidi Shine in the gold to kind of accent the yellow in the layout, and just putting droplets of that around just to give it more of a mixed media look. Although I didn't use a ton of mixed media on this collection, I do love the Sense of Nature and the 49 and Market collections because they give that mixed media look without having to get too messy. And so this is my finished layout, and I really love, how it came together. So here you can see some of the pre-printed items that are on the paper. They still show up, those beautiful fuchsias. Got the doily in the background, lots of die cuts done with the paper, and then the 49 and Market paper flowers. You can still see the clock in the background. The chipboard memories, which I don't think I mentioned was a thickers from crepe paper called Celebrate. You can still see that little bird and nest and clock down in that corner. So yeah, I love how it turned out, and I really enjoyed working with this collection. And so again, I will put links to everything down below, so be sure to check out the scrapbookingwithme.com store. And if you have any questions or anything, just leave me a comment down below and I will get back to you. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.